Hello and welcome to the Paul O'Connor podcast, where we'll be talking about the motor trade, entrepreneurship, business and beyond. Are we running? Are we live? How's the audio? Good?
Speak again.
Put it up a bit closer to you.
Like this. Is that okay? Yeah?
Okay. Is that sounding good? Okay. So we are live. We are doing a little episode of the two Pauls. It's like the two Johnnies
Pauls.
except shitter in the motor trade.
It's like the Timu version.
Team version of the two Johnnies. We're here to talk about cars. We actually recorded this episode, or something similar, obviously not the exact same one. We recorded a similar one about 2 months ago.
Yeah, but again, because we're the Timu version.
We're the Timu version, the audio didn't come through. So today we're going to talk about something that's very popular in people's minds. It's trade-in prices. Trade-in prices, when I do TikToks or when I do any social media content, they're one of the main things that the gripe that people have about car dealers, and the thing that really makes them hate them. They are always unhappy with trade-in prices, or everyone has a bad experience of being in a garage and they give them shit trade-in prices, and people, I suppose, maybe don't like it. They can't understand why they're not getting what they want for their cars. A variety of different reasons. It's quite a complex subject, and it's getting trickier to price trade-ins in recent years as well. So I thought we'd just do maybe a quick 20-minute episode explaining trade-in prices.
Yeah.
So trade-ins, I suppose I'll start by saying that car sales is one of the only industries where trade-ins are a part and parcel of it, right? And they're so commonplace. Like, generally speaking, you don't buy a new TV and trade in your old TV. You just throw it away or whatever. Even when you're buying a house, you sell your own house, but like you don't trade in.
Trading it in.
Yeah, you don't trade it into the auctioneer. It doesn't quite work like that. Like, you might get them to sell it separately, but it's a completely separate transaction. But they're not only that it's part and parcel of it, but they're expected. And it'd be weird if a garage didn't take trade-ins. I think they'd lose a lot of business from not doing that.
100%. Yeah.
So I suppose that's the first point to note. Trade-in prices are based on a variety of factors as well. I suppose there's certain cars that trade in really well, and there's other cars then that wouldn't be that desirable.
Hence the €1,000 trade-in price most garages are now doing.
Yeah, so I suppose the way things are gone now, and I'll just talk about the way currently, I'm selling cars a long time, but now more than ever before, us as dealers have to be more selective of what we sell. There's a variety of reasons for that. First reason is there's a lot of cars that are on the market today that aren't particularly reliable. That's going to cause problems. And also everyone, and I've touched on this in so many videos and podcasts, where everyone is migrating towards the same smaller pool of cars more than ever before. So if you're trading in your car to us, because us and so many other dealers have to be selective in what we sell, because some cars aren't reliable and some cars don't sell well, there's a good chance that we don't actually particularly want your car. The only reason we take it in as a trade-in is so we can sell you the car that we have in stock.
It's just because we have to. Literally, that's the only reason we're taking it.
That's why we have a lower price for selling straight than we do for trade-in prices. And that was done because we'd actually rather a straight sale, because we're cherry picking the stock we want on the private market and sometimes in the trade in Ireland and also from Japan. And we're cherry picking the exact stock we want. So if you're trading in your 2016 Qashqai that has 230,000 kilometers on it, not being rude, but we don't actually want that. Do you know what I mean?
And look, this should be understandable as well, because most people that buy cars here are like, I spent 3 months looking for this exact car. That's because we only want to stock those cars. Nobody really wants those high mileage Qashqais or whatever it is, not just Qashqais.
Yeah, we're just using that as an example, but like it could be any kind of variety of cars. And sometimes as well with trade-ins, the reason why you're wanting to get rid of your car, maybe because it's getting older or starting to give a bit of bother, you have to remember as well that that's probably a reason why it's not that desirable for the next person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's there's obviously sometimes a reason you're changing it, and that might make it as a popular car for the next one as well. What a lot of people do when they're pricing trade-in, they're thinking what they want for their car in as a trade-in, is that they will go on to, you see it all out.
CarZone Valuator.
CarZone. I'll just start with the CarZone car valuator, the price valuator, or I think Dundee possibly have one as well. Lads, what this is, right, this is they get all the average of that particular model and mileage car. They see what they're being advertised for, and they just basically run a basic average
By dealers mainly.
So they're saying the average selling price, or not even selling price, the average advertised price for your 2016 Audi A3 is €16,000. Let's just say that, for example. That's the average price that a dealer will advertise their car for. That is not what your car is worth on the private market as a trade-in. I'm going to sound like a horrible capitalist here. Car dealers have to buy their cars at a lower price than they sell it for.
Really?
Yeah, and your trade-in is no different. Some people actually think, right, that but you're making money off the car you're selling me. Why do you have to make money on my car too? Yeah, well, where do you think you got the car that we're selling? Every car is even if it's imported, it's actually someone else's previous car, because we sell old cars. So every car has been sold to us at a lower price than we sell it for. People seem to think then, well, like they're making 14 grand online, so I want 14 grand for my car.
Yeah. And if they're not valuing it off of a Cars Own Valuator, it's Cars Ireland, filter by highest. It doesn't matter if, let's just say it's a 5 Series, right?
Yeah.
They might have an SE 5 Series with 200,000 kilometers on it.
Yeah.
If there's one online that's an M Sport Pro with 50,000 kilometers on it, that's what theirs is worth.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And listen, I'm not even having to go with people. I totally get that. Like, if you're not familiar with the motor trade, or you're not familiar with things like that, like, listen, and everyone, don't get me wrong, everyone's trying to get the most for their car. Everyone's trying to get the most for their stuff in general. Everyone wants to get the best deal in life. I totally get it, like, you know what I mean?
I respect it. As long as they're not like 10,000, like, apart from what you want to be.
Yeah.
If they say a number that's like 4,000, or not 4,000, let's say 2,000 higher than what we wanted at, I respect it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd do it. Like, so.
No, you kind of have to, like, so so that's what kind of is a lot of the time as well. When people trade in their car to us as well, like, if it's an older car that we wouldn't sell here, or if there's a kind of car maybe higher mileage, the way it works is we take a few pictures of your car, and anyone that's been to a garage recently would have got the same setup, generally speaking. The dealer will take pictures of their car, and they'll send it off to the trade, as we'd say, but they'll send it off to a few other dealers who might be interested in buying it. And that other garage then, or the other garages, will put a bid on it, basically, right? Because of a number of factors, and because of the way cars are being maintained now, and because of, a variety of reasons, people are going to have to assume, even if your car is really clean, they're just basing it off a WhatsApp picture. And they're going to have to assume, if you're trying to sell off a 12-year-old car off to another dealer, they're going to expect it's going to need a good bit of work. Because
look, I suppose I'll put it this way: we're prepping cars that are 5-6 years old. We're spending €1,000 to €1,500 on them. You need to allow for what a 10 or a 12 or 15-year-old car is going to cost. Prep it, like, it's going to cost €1,500 a minimum.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know?
A minimum. And that's if you're just because a lot of cars, because the car prices have gone up so much as well. Like, a 10 grand car now is actually usually actually an old car. It's probably could be 10 years old, could even be more. It depends on the model car. That is, I know they're still up in the years and up in the price range, but like, they are unfortunately older cars now. So with the way I think the cars prices have gone, and you can blame dealers for that, you can blame whoever. It's just, if inflation across the board, every business's overheads have gone up, new car prices have gone up. Now listen, I'm not saying that dealers are completely faultless for all this. Like, dealers are out to make money as well. Like, every business is like, we're doing better now than we did 3 or 4 years ago. Are we gouging people by price? I certainly don't think so. But, like, there's a variety of factors as to why the prices are
the market price has gone up.
The market price
across the board. We're buying cars for more than what we used to. It's the same.
We have to spend more money than we used to getting them ready for sale, and everything like that as well. So anyway, we send them off to the trade, and people are going to have to assume they're going to need a decent bit of work. So I suppose what a lot of people say, like, they might see a particular, they're trading in, let's say, a 2014 A6, and they're saying, I see they're making 13 or 14 grand. Okay. I'm just using this as an example. With a 2014 A6, right, this is an 11-year-old premium car, okay? That is relatively high risk for someone to take in, right, as a dealer, right? So if they're going to want to be selling it at 14 grand, or hope to sell it at 14 grand, they're going to be wanting to be buying that car in for definitely under 10 grand as well. I would argue 8 or 9 grand. And I know people saying, Jesus Christ, you're making 5 or 6 grand. Oh my God, lads, you're making nowhere near 5 or 6 grand in that car. There might be a 5 or 6 grand difference between the buying price and the selling price. But first of all, I'll just give a breakdown, and I'll do this in more detail in a proper video soon. But let's just use 5 grand for ease of calculations. Let's say they hope to sell it for 14, they're going to give 9 for it, right? Straight away before they prep on or do anything on that car, there's 23% VAT to be paid in it. It's margin scheme VAT. It's the same on all used cars. So let's just, for ease of calculation, say it's around €1,000 VAT. So instead of the 5 grand margin, now you're down to 4 grand margin, right? On a 4-year-old, on an 11-year-old Audi A6, like, I don't think you're going to get out of that for less than 1,500 prep.
Yeah, you're talking 2 grand pretty easily.
Well, let's just say 1,500 for argument's sake. So now your 5 grand went down to 4 grand with the warranty, and now is down to 2.5 when you prep the car as well. Then you have to factor in valeting costs. Hopefully, this is assuming there's no bodywork on it either. Let's say it's another 150 for valeting, you're down to 2,350. Then you're going to have to, like, the risk of something going wrong on that car and warranty, like, I would say you on average you'd be at least putting away €500 on that car to cover warranty costs. Now you're down to 1,850. Out of that 1,850, then you have to cover, the business has to cover their rent, their insurance. If they've any sales tax, they're going to have to pay them commission for selling it. Listen, I don't have to give the sob story here, but like, you have to, it goes all the way down from what you think is a big margin down to actually quite a small margin, and that's the same with any business as well. So I suppose people need to understand that as well. And the older the car is, you know, obviously the higher risk it is. And what I'd also say as well is, let's just say on the Audi A6, when it's a selling price of 14 grand, that is assuming that dealer has got the correct idea and that it will sell in that time. A lot of that time as well, that you might think you'll get 14 grand for the car, but maybe there's been a slow month, maybe those car prices drop, maybe it just hasn't moved on, maybe you thought it was worth more than it is, and all of a sudden you have that car in stock 6 months and you have to drop it to 13 grand, then you have to drop it to 12. You still have all your prep costs, you still have your VAT costs, you still have all your warranty costs, but your margin now is after going straight down. So there's a kind of when you're pricing the car in as a trade, and you have to factor in a bit of almost like insurance kind of money. You have to, yes, if I get the price I think we will get for it, it's a good deal. Yeah. But a lot of times we don't. Like, people will have seen, if they follow our stuff, like, we did a sale just the weekend just gone, and there were several cars that we had in stock that we reduced by 2 grand. One of them by 4. Yeah. So, like, if we're buying these and not leaving enough margin for any of these type of market corrections, and there is market corrections. When I bought that X5,
the one that was reduced by 4,000,
we reduced that by 4 grand. What we also had reduced that by is about 2 or 3 grand previous to that as well. When I bought that X5, I was basing it on the fact that there was worth about 62, 63 grand market price in that. We ended up selling it for 56. So if I was saying, oh sure, I'll sell it for 63, I'll pay 60 for it, for example, right? Like, you're screwed. You're losing 5 grand straight away. So you have to factor in these things as well. These are kind of some of the things maybe that
people don't see it.
People mightn't see as well. We touched on it already, but it's like I was saying about people moving all towards the same type of cars.
The same pool of cars, yeah.
You've seen it as well, haven't you? Like,
just all the German high-end cars, mainly. Do you know, your 5 Series, your A6s, your Tiguan R-Lines, it's all the same cars. That's what people want.
They're trading in really well, and we're giving very strong money for them. And I use, like, everyone wants the same cars nowadays. Everyone, like, I used to be able to buy SE A6s and SE 5 Series and basic spec this and weird colour that. Now I just don't. It's too much of a risk. Yeah. Certain cars just sell instantly, right? And other cars then they last months in stock. You really have to be buying. And the thing is as well, I know so many other garages that are all after the same cars as we are.
But even just, it's not completely unfair either with trading prices. It's not very fresh in my memory now, but a few months ago, I think it was a customer of yours traded an A6 S-Line Black Edition. You gave them back to nearly the same as what they paid for it originally, like a year or two before.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's mental.
Yeah, but that's just one example. Like, those A6 S-Lines, like, if you bought them a couple of years ago, right? Like, the older model one as well. Because as well, there's some newer model cars that are actually worse than the older model. Like the 2016, 17, 18 A6s, they're a better car than the newer one. Yeah. So therefore, a 2017 or 18 A6, they're incredibly desirable. They're starting to get older. They're starting to be less desirable low mileage versions of them available on the road now as they're getting a bit older, but we're still selling 2017 A6s for 25 grand. S-Lines. We were selling them 4 or 5 years ago for around the same 27, 28 grand. There was other cars we probably sold 4 or 5 years ago for 30 grand, now they're worth 15. So the price differences are so vastly different than ever before. Another one is the Japanese import cars that obviously we're bringing in, a lot of other dealers are bringing in. And I've did a TikTok about this before as well, and they're fantastic and they're so clean and everything like that. But unfortunately, they're after distorting our customers' expectations of what is high mileage and what's low mileage as well. when people are buying cars off us, we used to sell a load of cars of 180, 200,000 kilometers. And listen, like, it's not like I will sell whatever our customers buy, and that we can sell with a bit of confidence. We'll make a few quid off, obviously, that's a given. But like, we will sell stuff that won't cause us too much bother, that our customers will buy. And the higher mileage stuff, it's nothing got to do with I wouldn't have confidence in them. It's the fact that people don't actually buy them. People don't buy many cars 180, 200,000 kilometers on them anymore. It's because they see 8 and 9 year old Japanese import cars coming into the country with 70,000 kilometers on them. And then all of a sudden a 16 Golf at 170 on it, which would be a bit high.
Yeah.
It just seems so high.
Yeah.
So that's why the high mileage stuff has just died a death. Like, we were trying to price a 2014 iX35 there. Philly had a customer for it.
Was it 230 kilometers?
230 kilometers, a 14 one, done a load of work, and we were getting 2 to 2.5.
Which isn't high mileage. It's not on a 14
no,
car.
It's not. And we were just saying, geez, we can't tell the customer that's the best trade price we got. Like, so we're just trying to, well, listen, we're going to give, I said to Philly, give 4.5, 5, and we'll hope if we get it in that we'll get another buyer for it. Like.
Yeah.
But you've no idea for some of the higher mileage stuff. And people think we're trying to rob them or anything like that. They are just gone so hard to move on, aren't they? Like,
look, there's no other garages really want them anymore. Do you know, the cars are stuck on the forecourt. Anything with 200,000 kilometers plus are just sat there for 12 months even.
Like Kieran Sanford, and he won't mind me saying it, but he used to buy a load of high mileage stuff off me because he used to sell them. Like, he used to do really well out of them. He used to make good money off them and everything like that. Now, he's a local garage that we deal with a lot. Like, now he doesn't even sell that many of them anymore because his customers won't even buy them.
Yeah.
Do you know? And that used to be his bread and butter. He used to really well out of them.
And like, let's say they used to even just sell on value. They were a lot cheaper than a lower mileage one. Now it doesn't matter what price they are.
No,
you can't give them away.
You
like,
can't
you
give
genuinely
them away,
can't.
Yeah. So that's the, and obviously that, you know, if dealers are struggling to sell them to their customers, you know, that obviously goes back to trading prices, and, you know, dealers aren't wanting to give, they can't sell them, like, you know what I mean? Which is, and I do feel sorry for people that have bought cars. They might have bought, a 170,000 kilometer car at the height of the post-COVID car shortages, shall we say, and they might have paid good money for it. And now there's 240 kilometers on them now, and they might have paid 25 grand for it a couple of years ago, and now they're getting 7-8 grand trading.
Yeah.
Whereas another customer, if they'd have bought an A6, we'll just go back to that example again, with 80,000 kilometers, now there's 130 on them. They could have paid 25 grand for it, now they're getting back 20 as a trade-in 4 years later. Like, so it's just the way the
cookie crumbles.
It's the way to go. With the high mileage stuff as well, like, there's some guys that will buy them, but the guys that do buy these cars are well aware that there are not going to be many other lads that will put a bid in them. So they're just going to bid low.
Because they're the only people bidding.
They're the only bid. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying, listen, I'll buy it, but I'll only buy it if it's cheap. And that's no really consolation to
It's not. Now, look, I do want to stress the fact as well, we will get as much money as we can for trade-ins, but it's just, it's very hard to price the higher mileage ones.
Yeah.
We're still trying to do it. There is a lot of, you know, if you are thinking about trading in a high mileage car, we are doing our best. It's just fucking tough.
But even leave aside high mileage, we'll even just go to the undesirable models now.
Yeah.
Like, every month or two, we nearly have another list of cars that we're trying not to buy because they're causing a load of bother. I was just thinking of an example earlier, like Range Rover Evokes. Like, we don't sell them anymore. We used to sell years ago. I've definitely sold 10 of them before, right? And they used to sell well, and dealers used to buy them. They used to, Land Rover, like, people would be a bit nervous, but they were kind of okay with them. Now, customers and most dealers don't buy them anymore. There's also, like, we used to sell a good few Mazdas as well, and we used to sell Jags and all that. So let's just use those 3 examples. Any previous Land Rover or Range Rover Evoque customers, or maybe a Mazda CX-5 customers, or maybe a Jaguar XE, XF, all those cars now no one really wants them anymore. So if you just get rid of all those customers who are never going to buy one of those again, and then they all gravitate towards the same Audis, BMWs, same Volkswagens, what does that do to the prices of those Audis, BMWs, Volkswagens, the popular ones? It pushes the price up because there's more people that want to buy them.
Yeah.
And there's less people then that want to buy those cars. So the price of those cars absolutely tank. And that's a factor in why some car prices, they're saying, oh, Jesus. People are saying, 15 grand for an 8-year-old Polo or whatever like that. It's like, yeah, I know, but they're the ones people want. A lot of people want to buy those cars because they might have bought another one. Like, Peugeot got really popular again a couple of years back.
And with their 588s.
With their 588s, 388s. We sold a good few. We're trying to move away slightly from selling them because, unfortunately, through no fault of ours, through the manufacturer itself, they are starting to give a little bit of bother. So when people are migrating, like I said, away from certain types of cars, they're all going into the same Toyotas or Volkswagens or whatever ones. It just makes it makes it quite tricky. What would you say? I think we both know. Do you think there's any particular cars that are overpriced that we sell or they're out in the market?
Okay, I just want to make sure I say this. We aren't overpricing them. I think they're just like the market value is overpriced.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like when we sell what we would consider, I think they're an expensive car.
Like we're giving strong money.
We're giving strong money because if we don't buy that car, Johnny down the road will buy that car, and he'll sell it to his customers for the same money or more, right? So that's it. Like I'd have like some of those Audis are
top of the list is an A6 Black Edition.
A6 Black Edition.
Like we have a 17 one at the moment, and like we were talking about like the price on it. It's literally, I think it was selling for the same money last year. Like this time last year, it was selling for the same money.
The 17 A6 Black Edition S-Line. Now, don't get me wrong, we're giving strong money for these cars, and they always need time belts, they always need good prep. They're actually not our most profitable cars. We have an A6 S-Line Black Edition 172, we got up for 25,950, and we're already getting inquiries on it. It's not even up at photos yet.
There's no pictures on it at all.
We're already getting inquiries on it. And lads were even saying, well, is it worth another grand? Because there's other ones up for 26,950. There's actually one or two up for 27,950, right?
There is.
I just felt like I can't sell that car for that
just
money.
feel guilty.
My morals, like, you know what I mean? I know I say, I'm car dealer, you've no morals. But sometimes I'd be like, I don't know, but I really feel cheeky asking it, like, you know.
Look, when especially when it's a 2017 car, it's not like it's not an old car, but it's definitely not new, like.
No. A4 S-Line Autos 2017, 2018, they're big money as well.
They're big money, yeah.
Yeah.
Tiguan R-Lines.
Tiguan R-Lines. Oh my God, lads! People have such a horn for Tiguan R-Line Autos.
Yeah.
Like they are big money. Like, but again, we could have a Comfortline manual Tiguan in stock, and it could be there's literally this much of a difference. 10 grand less than an R-Line Auto, and everyone's like, I'll wait for the R-Line Auto.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah. Red cars as well. People don't buy red cars unless they're a sporty one. We have a red Kodiak Sportline. We can't give it away.
We can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But
if
it was a black, please buy it. We've dropped our absolute cax on price. We're actually nearly losing money on it now. I think we are losing money.
We're losing money.
Yeah, but again, you'd be so selective what you buy.
Shouldn't have bought that one.
I used to be, and I always use the term willy-nilly, but I used to be buying yokes, whatever I get offered by other dealers, and they all use sell. Those days are gone.
But the thing is as well, like when we bought that Kodiak, they were flying out the door.
Yeah,
and we gave strong money for this particular Kodiak, even stronger than we gave for other ones at the same time. And then we're just stuck with it.
Yeah, I think, and I don't mind telling people this, I think we've gave 39.5 grand for that car. We spent about $1,000 on prepping it at least. And I think we'd up
it was
49. We did down to 39,950 in the sale. Which obviously
just to blow it out.
And we're up 49.50 now at the moment. We are losing more, factoring in VAT and warranty. We're losing money on that, and that does happen as well.
It does. And we will take a loss.
We thought we'd get 43,950 for it, and we were like, look, it'll be okay, and it'll sell straight away. We were wrong. That's another point. Like I touched on it earlier as well. It's like you have to factor in a little bit of wiggle room, because there is certain cars, as you'll have seen, we do reduce cars in price. There are certain cars that we have in stock a couple of months, and then we have to do tight deals, or we have to reduce them in price in order to move them on. If you were regularly pricing things way too tight margin wise, the business wouldn't survive, because you'd be constantly losing money on cars. Like, and just because a particular other types of model cars are advertised for 45 grand online, that doesn't mean they're
actually selling for it. Yeah.
I'll also just I'll start by say, I won't say finish by saying, but what other dealers sell them for aren't necessarily representative, or what other dealers advertise their cars for aren't necessarily representative of what we as an independent dealer would sell it for or advertise it for. Like, so for example, main dealers, right? Like a BMW main dealer, don't get me wrong, they give a 2-year BMW approved plus warranty or whatever they call it. Like they will ask strong money for their car. I know they'll have a good warranty, and I know they have a fancy showroom and all that, but if a main dealer has a car for 50 grand online, if I search 50 grand online, it's probably mid-40s for an independent dealer to sell. And also, the margin that a main dealer will want to cover their big overheads and to cover their, in fairness, decent prep and to cover their big warranty is going to be a lot more than we'll need. We might be buying a car for 40 and selling it for 45. They'll be buying it for 40 and selling it for 50. Like, do you know what I mean? So just factor that in as well. No one's going an independent dealer isn't going to get main dealer money for the very most part as well.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But that's kind of the general gist of it. I will happily do another follow-up video if anyone needs any clarifications on any of it. I just said it's a bit of a longer topic than to discuss just on a TikTok video.
Yeah, you can't really do it in a short form.
Yeah, but you can't really do it in a short form video. I suppose I will just finish by saying that, you know, the whole, when a trade-in, the interaction or the responsibility and interaction between both parties, between the private customer and the dealer, they're not equal at all. Like, you buy a car off us, and if anything goes wrong with it, it's on us. Whereas you trade in your car to us, if the engine goes kaput next week, or if we don't sell it for a year and we end up losing $5,000 on it, it's your hands are washed with it. It's all on, you know, it's all on us, and that's how it should be. That's why we get more money for cars than a private customer would. I'm not giving out about it, but just as long as people understand it, the benefit from you if you're buying off a dealer is that you get peace of mind. You get your trade-in taken care of. You get the finance all sorted. You know, if there's something going to be wrong with your car in a month's time, you could bring it back to us. We'll give you a loan of a car. You know, you have security knowing that, but that does come at a cost as well.
Yeah.
And we can't just provide all this and pay for 15 staff here and pay for your warranty and pay for this or that unless we give less money for your trade-in than we'll sell it for. That sounds so obvious, and when people listening to this, they're going to be laughing. You'd be amazed, you'd be shocked the amount of people that would try and sell us cars or trade in their cars for 40 grand when they can see we're selling similar ones for 40 grand.
We unfortunately do have to make money on both cars.
We do. I know, you made money off this car, you don't have to make it off mine. It's like, yeah, but your car is going to be our next car that we're going to sell next week or the week after. You know, that's how we get stock. We every car is actually a trade-in of someone else. So I hope that makes sense. If there's any follow-up or if there's any clarification anyone needs, and I hope it didn't come across as too much of a greedy capitalist, but like I'm always honest with people. I say, listen, lads, we do need to make money on our cars, and we are a business. And, so yeah, hope that clears it up.
Man's got to eat.
Man's got to eat. We all got to eat. Thank you.